Hey, hey, boot campers. So, Game Changer. Basically, I look at Game Changer as kind of like climbing a mountain. Imagine if you've ever climbed a mountain. I'm sure there's a few hikers out there, and there's a few mountaineers out there that have, when you're climbing a mountain, you have to have all your gear. You have to have the right food. You have to have the right recovery items as well to keep you hydrated. Electrolytes, things like this. You have to have the right equipment depending on what kind of mountain you're going to climb. Basically, it's hard work to climb a mountain. Now, if we look at our fitness goals and we look at our health goals, a lot of times it's a mountain that we're trying to climb, in the terrain of our life. And most of the time, if we're honest with ourselves, for most of us, that mountain never gets climbed. Because for one, we're asked to climb it on our own. And we also feel unprepared to ever climb that mountain. And so it's there, just always there, whatever that mountain is for you. I know what that mountain is for me. But a lot of times, we don't climb the mountain that's before us. But imagine if somebody came up next to you and said, I have a mountain to climb too. Or in fact, what if they said they even had the same mountain to climb? And they said, I'd like to climb this mountain. Would you like to climb it with me? And imagine maybe there's 10 other people that are thinking the same thing. All of a sudden, you're not trying to climb this mountain by yourself. You actually have a group of people trying to climb the same mountain, or maybe a different mountain, because we have our own personal mountains, but they want to do it together with you. So that's how I look at Game Changer. So basically, in terms of accomplishing our fitness goals or health goals, there's the same things come up over and over again. So I read a few articles on what makes it, or what trainers believe make it impossible for people to reach their goals, their fitness goals. And the same thing comes up over and over again. So I'm just going to go over, there's basically 5 things that make it, if I break it all down, it's 5 things that make people not meet their specific goals. So one of them is lack of a specific goal. So they don't specify exactly what their goal is. That's one thing. Another thing is a lack of a good diet. Another thing is, it's just, to be honest, as people, we try to experience as little pain as possible in our life. So this is generally a very painful journey. Another thing is we have a lack of time. And another is a lack of accountability. So basically with Game Changer, in the span of 3 months to 6 months, depending on how everyone chooses to go about it, whatever the group decides after the 3 months, we try to address all of these things that stop us from climbing this mountain, from getting to the top of this mountain. Okay, so in terms of a lack of specificity or goal, well, we ask everyone to be very specific. So for example, it's not enough to say, I want to lose weight. Well, that's great, but it's a very vague statement. Or I want to get stronger. That's also great, but also very vague. Well, how much weight would you like to lose? Okay, you want to lose 40 pounds. Okay, that's a good number. Now, then we can take steps to get you to those 40 pounds. Or if I want to be able to, bench 250 pounds. It was okay, well, you want to be able to bench that. Let's try to figure out how we're going to get there. And so basically we have to have measurable metrics in order to get to these levels. So that's one thing. Another thing is a lack of a good diet. So the difference between Game Changer and the boot camp is we're going to include diet. So we may even include challenges that involved diet. So for example, how many days, let's see, the challenge is everyone or everyone in a team, let's say, will in a competition with another team, will have to go 24 hours, 24 hours without eating sugar. Just an example, okay? Or 24 hours fasting if you're really that intense about, a certain fast. Or so basically, and also we're gonna be like kind of sharing like pictures of what we're eating and kind of encourage each other in that sense, because a lot of times we know what we're supposed to do in terms of like our fitness, what's healthy, what's not. Obviously, probably chocolate's not the best thing for you if you're trying to lose weight, right? We know that. There's nothing new about that. So why is it hard for us to, not do that? Well, we have a lack of encouragement. We have a lack of motivation, accountability, all these things. So in this sense, we're trying to address that. And so I'll have to lay off my Reese's Pieces, right? So, or ice cream. I like ice cream too. And we'll be, swapping recipes and things like that with each other. So that's part of the game changer. We're going to address that. Also, it's painful and, let's be honest, often lonely journey trying to get to your specific health goal. So you have a group of people that are there with you. So it makes things different when if you're trying to do things on your own, and obviously you can have the power to do that, but it's easy to get off track if you're just going off your own willpower, right? In this case, you have other people going with you or encouraging you. They're doing the same thing, and you're encouraging them too. So you're an example to them as well as they're trying to be an example to you. Another thing is a lack of time. So oftentimes what I found is life can get really busy. Obviously, we have families. We have we just got a puppy, and that takes up a lot of time to take care of this puppy. Of course, we still have work to do and all these other things. So it's easy for fitness. Usually, the workouts get pushed aside a lot quicker in the in our schedules than anything else. So, but a lot of times I feel like the reason why we do that, because of these other things, it's easy for us to push that aside. And another thing is because of a lack of real accountability and all these things, and we tend to push it aside, is because we don't have any specific deadline for it. So we have to be specific with our time. Okay, you want to lose 40 pounds, or you want to lift 250, you want to bench 250. By when would you like to get that accomplished? So our goal is within the 3 months or within the 6 months, and so because we have a deadline set, then we can. It's easier for us to measure these things again, and it's a good thing to have something like that's tangible that we know is there. And if we don't accomplish our goal, we're going to pay for it. So we were encouraging people to apply for a challenge on their own every month, and then share with us how it goes. For example, a 5K. Maybe in the first month, apply for a 5K, and in your area, of course, and or tell yourself that you'll actually do it. But a lot of times, if it's an actual official event, it makes you more likely to do it. If there's a Tough Mudder nearby or a Spartan race that you can get to within that month, or if you're already a good runner and you haven't done a marathon in a while, like apply for a marathon. But we're going to be checking in on you, seeing how you're doing with that. And so with that deadline in mind, we will propose an ultimate deadline. If we go the 6 months, we go all the way to October, which is the annual event in the Grand Canyon. We're going to have an ultimate deadline there, where I'm going to propose something, and I don't know if I should share it here right now, but maybe I should. Okay, I will. This is just a proposal, okay? And this is not mandatory.